In this video I want to show you how you can set up your own Git server, and that there's really nothing magical about it, and that it's really easy to do actually. So I mean, you probably know what Git is, but if you don't, it's a version control system. It's used for plain text files. It's pretty great, everyone uses it. But most people who use Git use a service like GitHub or GitLab or GIT or what have you. So if you want to keep your data within your own control, you obviously should host your stuff yourself. And while you can host something like GitLab yourself, it's really a pain in the ass, because GitLab is a giant project with like a quadrillion features which you don't need, probably. And if you do, you are watching the wrong video, I guess. So you have this gigantic thing, and you have to keep up, and there are updates all the time, and it's really annoying. It logs everything, it fills up your disk with logs, so you have to clean your disk, and so on and so forth. And just to have like basic git push and pull commands that work with a server, it's really unnecessary, and I wouldn't recommend doing it. So in this video I want to show you how to do it properly, how to create your own minimal Git server which you can use for like keeping up, backing up your repositories and having them be accessible from multiple machines and collaborating with others and what have you. Like all the stuff you use a Git server for. So, okay, on the left I have a terminal that's already connected to my server. On the right I have a local terminal. And what we're first going to do, and I mean what you probably already have done, is create a Git repository. So we're going to call it test project. We're going to cd into it, we're going to do git init. Yeah, great. Then we're going to just have some file, I'm going to call it wow, and we're gonna put some text in here. Great. Then we're gonna add this file, we're gonna commit with a commit message, initial commit. And it's gonna tell us we need to specify who we are. So we're gonna do just that. And specify our name. And if you first use Git, you're gonna have to do the same. And what this is gonna create is a .git config with this information inside of it. And if this doesn't exist, it's gonna prompt you for your information. Okay, so now we're gonna commit again. Okay, great. So this time it worked. So now we have a local Git repository. Great. Now we want to push it onto the server. And what you want to normally do is to have a dedicated Git user on your server. So we're gonna do just that. We're gonna do sudo user add. The -m flag is to create a home directory for this user. And we're gonna call it test git because I already have a Git user on here. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna sudo su test git. We're gonna cd, and we have our empty home directory. Oh, and we're gonna use bash because this is some sh shell, and yeah, whatever. Great. Now we have this home with this empty directory. So before we do anything Git related, what you want to do is to set up SSH keys, because you don't want to have to put in your password all the time, because that's annoying and insecure and so on and so forth. So we're gonna use SSH keys. First of all, we have to set up SSH keys on our local machine. We're gonna do this with SSH keygen. Then we're gonna do add to 519. So this is just to specify that we're not gonna use RSA, because RSA keys are huge and annoying and whatever. We're going to specify our email, so this. It's going to prompt us where to save this SSH key, yeah, that's fine. no passphrase, and you can put in a passphrase if you want to, but it's annoying, don't do it. Great, so if we look at this .ssh directory, we can see 2 extra files. So this config file is just your SSH configuration, if you have that. Great. Now we're gonna create a .ssh file, SSH directory here, and we're gonna edit authorized keys. So this is a file which tells SSH which keys are authorized to access this user on this machine. Pretty simple. Now we're gonna output our new public SSH key. So this is the public key, this is the private key. So this private key is supposed to be held, well, private, and this public key you can, or you have to put on, well, machines you want to access, obviously. So we're gonna copy this, paste it in here, right, quit. Great. So now we have everything set up we need. Well, no, we have one more thing to do, and that is to create a remote Git repository. So we're gonna again call it test project. We're gonna cd in, and then we're gonna do git init again, but with the bear flag. And this is just to have like a different kind of Git repository, I guess, like a remote repository. So our local repository is holding our working folder, so this our working files. So this wow file, for example, and then there's also a .git directory with all the stuff. But this remote directory has some other things. So here's some other directories and files that are important to Git, obviously. So now all that's left to do is to add this remote machine, and we can do this with git remote add origin. So this origin is just a name, you can use anything. And then we're gonna use test git, our user, add, and then our domain or IP for this server. So in my case it's this, and then the directory that we want to push to. So this is this directory here, and you can name it whatever you want, whatever. We're gonna add this. We're gonna do push origin master. So master is the branch we want to push, and origin is this remote origin we've just added. And if we do this, yes, we want to trust it, this works. So if we now do ls ltr, we can see, so we created this directory at 1953, and now there is the objects directory was changed, so now the timestamp is 1855. Great. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You now have your Git repository on this remote machine, and now we can do stuff like, so let's just create a new directory, and we can do git clone, and do this, and it's gonna clone this remote directory, or this remote repository, into a new directory. So if you go here and we look at our wow file, it's right there. And now we can edit this file, add some more text, for example, then commit, another commit, and push, and it works fine. Now we can go back to our initial directory and pull, and it pulls our changes. So yeah, that's pretty simple. If you want to have someone collaborate with you, you just have to add their SSH key to this authorized keys file. So just like add another line, add their key in here, whatever, and then they can push and pull as well. Yeah, so I think that's it for now. Maybe you learned something, I hope so. And yeah, I hope you are successful setting up your own Git server if you want to. And yeah, that's it. Have a nice day.